Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your Destiny Dad, and welcome to week 3. Yeah, we're still in week 3, right? No, this is the 4th week. God, time is moving fast. Week 4 of Xur in Destiny 2 Heresy. We are going to give his inventory a good once over and see what he's brought us today. I forgot I completed my genealogy. Alright. In terms of usefulness, Xur is cooking this weekend. Prospector Catalyst, S tier, pick it up. If you don't have it or you don't have Prospector, get them both. Graviton Lance Catalyst. It's really good. The Catalyst adds a lot of utility to it. As you can see, it gives you Vorpal and Turnabout, I believe that is. Turnabout is not a favorite perk of mine. It's too situational to be like good in a general sense, I think. But when it works, and it gives you Overshield. It's nice. And Gauntlets, phenomenal exotic, decent roll, high resilience, high discipline for the hunter. I don't know that I would personally go for a grenade build with these, but the resilience alone is good enough to get these, and they're 65 base, not gonna hurt you. Very good exotic, get them if you don't have them. 67 Actium War Rig. High strength is good. The mobility is not super what you want to see for a Titan. This is typically going to be a PvE exotic, although there is a play for using it in PvP, and I think some people do when there's auto rifle metas. You're still probably going to want this as a PvE only exotic. That being said, it's high strength, decent resilience. If you don't have one, pick it up. Phenomenal chest piece. Apotheosis Veil for the Warlocks. We've got high mobility and recovery and very high intellect, base roll 65. Again, mobility is probably not your main stat on a Warlock, but that Recov and Intellect are both very nice. The base being 65 is very nice. For anyone who doesn't know, and Gauntlets on the Hunter, you can slot in these different built-in mods, but the best one is simply going to be this one right here, Sective Insight. There are these different mods, they all have different capabilities, and when your team runs them, you all get bonuses, but the only one that anybody ever truly uses is Sective Insight. Successive precision weapon takedowns have a chance to drop an orb of power for your allies, which is not bad, but when you finish an elite, you generate special ammo for your fire team. Finish a boss or mini boss, you generate heavy ammo for your fire team. Nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sective Insight role equipped also gain a burst of super energy. So, running this in a Grandmaster, everything you're finishing, if it's yellow or orange or like champions, it just drops ammo. It gives special, it gives heavy to your entire fire team. These things are super good. Actium War Rig steadily reloads your equipped auto rifle or machine guns mags. When there is an auto rifle or machine gun meta, this thing cooks. It just literally, while you're shooting, is constantly feeding you more ammo back into your magazine. Apotheosis Veil is a great Warlock exotic. When your super ends, you have, I believe it's 500% grenade and melee energy regeneration for 5 seconds, I want to say. Essentially, if you use it on a one-shot super, think something like a well, or something like a Nova Bomb, or something like Needle Storm. You can sit there and then grenade, melee, melee, grenade, melee, melee, grenade, melee, melee, with your charged grenade and charged melee abilities for about 5 seconds. And if you build into it well, it becomes a very strong DPS rotation machine. Lastly, this week he does have an exotic Cypher. I know most people don't get super jazzed over that, but it is there if you need some or want some. Strange offers. This week we have upgrade modules, which I honestly might... Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a few of those myself. Oh, you can only claim one? Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, I thought I could stock up. You can only get one apparently, so... Strange gear. Hawkmoon with Chambered, snapshot, alloy, and recoil. Not the best roll, but snapshot is good in a general sense. It's not gonna hurt you to pick it up, but I don't think this is the best. Next up we have Huckleberry, phenomenal S tier exotic. Please pick this up if you do not have it. It has the OG Rampage, which means it stacks up to 50%. For anyone who doesn't know, Rampage used to stack on stack 3, it would go to 50% damage increase. They nerfed it to be 33%, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but they did not nerf it on the Huckleberry. This thing fires faster as you hold the trigger, it refunds ammo on kill, and you can just basically bullet hose this thing as long as you're smart with how you do it and add clear like a madman. It's phenomenal. Lord of Wolves. Pick this up if you do not have it. Lord of Wolves is very broken right now in the literal sense. It is not functioning as intended. It's doing insane amounts of damage. It's very annoying in PvP. I just played against somebody using it in comp last night and I wanted to rip my hair out. It's just a really good exotic in general, but right now it's really broken. Bungie has said that they know that it's broken. Bungie has said that they're going to fix it, but for the time being, it's there, it's broken, get it. Wardcliff Foil, another one that just for some reason is goofy and weird. Sisters in Kingsfall, right? The final boss of Shattered Throne. There's a lot of bosses in the game that just for some reason this thing does a lot of damage to. It's coded to do extra damage to vehicles, I believe. And certain bosses are just coded as vehicles for some reason. So when you find those bosses, this thing is really good. Moment to moment, it's not the best. I used to use it a lot in PvP. I don't think many people do anymore, but it's still decent there. I definitely think that this is a grab for sure. Farewell, very good sidearm. Not a terrible roll. There's better options in that first slot, I believe, than that. I would probably say subsistence or maybe heating up, but for a decent kinetic sidearm, I think that Farewell is very slept on. Nightshade, under pressure, encore, under pressure, high range, good masterwork, barrel mag, all of that. This is really good. I would just not go for encore personally. Now I know a lot of people do like encore. This can roll a head seeker, which is the roll that I have, but if you really want like a kinetic slot, lightweight frame pulse, lightweight frames cook right now. So I would definitely say go for it. Encore is not best. It's not a 5 out of 5, but this is like a 4.5 out of 5. So if you don't have a good lightweight frame in your top slot, grab this. Seven Seraph, Ambitious Assassin, Dragonfly. Actually not bad, I don't think. Flared mag, small bore. Yeah, that actually doesn't sound like it too bad of a roll if you don't have a better ad clear. If you have something like a crafted Ikelos or something like that, with Volt Shot, you're probably not going to use this, but if you don't have, you know, that arc ad clear SMG, Ambitious and Dragonfly, both are going to go great. Ambitious as well got a buff so that it functions a little bit more smoothly. The Vision, this came out years ago and was the most broken thing for like a week, and then something else came out and dethroned it immediately. It was not a fun time, but Pulse Monitor and One for All, I don't think that there's any play for that personally. One for All I could see, maybe, but Pulse Monitor is a no from me. Blast Batu, Grenade Launcher. This thing has such a cool model in your hands and such a like phenomenal sound and animation. I love this thing. It just doesn't have good rolls, sadly. I used to have one that I used in comp years ago, but I probably would not pick this one up. There's definitely better options, although not many. You got Clown Cartridge, you got Rampage, Chain Reaction, Wellspring, Threat Detector, Disruption Break even, and of course Spike Grenades. If it doesn't have Spike Grenades on it, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get it. So, Thin Precipice, Unrelenting Hatchling, Not the best guards, but we do have some decent edges here. This is far from the god roll, but this very much so. If you're using this as ad clear, like some people do with swords, Unrelenting Edgeling actually synergizes really well together, and it gives you subclass synergy. Plus, this thing is craftable, so if you just want the best version of this thing, buy it, enhance it, craft it. Alright, on the class swords, we have Quick Fang for the Hunter with Jagged Edge, Sword Masters, Impact. Thresh is actually pretty underrated in my opinion, but I don't know that I would want it on the sword. Maybe again, if you're using this like an ad clear machine. Thresh and Assassin's Blade actually does synergize really well together, but I don't know that I would personally go for it. For your Hunter armor, we have 63 arms with 24 resilience, very good. 64 chest piece with medium resilience, medium strength, pretty decent. If you don't have something better, go for it, but I wouldn't kill yourself over this one. I would definitely get those arms. You got a 67 base helmet, high resilience and intellect, higher recovery and strength. Another one that is phenomenal and definitely should be picked up if you are some sort of crazy endgame kind of player like I am. That would set you up very nicely for a quad 100 build. And lastly, we have boots, 66 base, 29 resilience, 14 intellect, 12 discipline. Phenomenal, high resilience across the board. This set of armor also looks really cool, so if you don't have it, get it for transmog. It's definitely a nice looking set of armor, barring the cloak. I don't believe the cloak is very nice. That being said, let's go on over to our handy dandy Titan and see what Zura has for us this week. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on our Titan. Let us see what our good friend Zur has for us this week. The class sword is going to be Crown Splitter, Tireless Blade Counterattack. I see a play for this. If you're going in this with the kind of mentality most people use Crown Splitter for, I could see you pulling this out, blocking, and then slamming to gain like an extra increased damage bonus. So I would not, I don't know that I'd say this would be a god roll, but it definitely has the potential to be used. And if you want to lean into that, instead of just pulling it out and heavy attacking, pull it out, guard, and then heavy attack, I think there's definitely a play for it. In terms of armor, we've got 68 arms, Jesus. 16 mobility, 16 resilience, 26 discipline. Very good pair of arms. 63 chest piece, very high mobility with medium discipline and strength. 63 is still not bad. 23 mobility on a Titan is a little bit of a yikes, but if maybe you're looking for a PvP set and you want your Titan to be a little zippy, more power to you. 66 base helmet. Good God, this armor this week is insane. 16 mobility, 16 resilience, 10, 10, and 12 for intellect, discipline, and strength, respectively. And then 65 legs, another 20 mobility, but you've got 11 recov, 15 in discipline, and 15 intellect. And with that being checked out, let's go get on our Warlock, our third and final character, and look for the week at Zur on him. Zur, do you mind? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our third and final character. I want to give a quick shout to this man right here. This drip is very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely, very Warmind themed for sure. But it looks very good, and he's not loading right now, but you can pretty much see what he's got going on. Anyway, let's check out what Mr. Zur has for our Warlock. The Warlock sword, we have Eternity's Edge, Energy Transfer, Flash Counter. I probably would pass on this one. This sword specifically has a good roll, and then the rest of it is not phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. The other swords have several good rolls and a lot of play that like making potential. This one feels rough unless you have a couple specific rolls, and that is not one of them. I would personally pass. For your legs, you have 66 base stat, 17 mobility, 10 recov, and 20 strength. High overall stat, a lot of mobility, but good recov and strength as well. Very good pair of legs. I would definitely pick them up if you don't have anything better. 65 helmet. Ooh. 20 recov, 24 strength, and a little touch of intellect. Very good overall. 65 chest piece. Mobility, recovery, and intellect are all around that 15 mark. Everything else is around that 7 to 10 mark. Decent overall. Not super spiky, which is typically what you want to go for. But if you're a new player, maybe a returning player, maybe you just have had bad luck on armor, high base stats with not very many spikes can really improve your build overall. And lastly, we have base 66 gloves, 10-10, 12-16, 12-6. That's 16 in discipline and that 12 in recov and intellect. That to me is like a good triple 100 recov, discipline, intellect build waiting to be made with this. I definitely would recommend grabbing this. I'd recommend grabbing most of the armor this week. Xur is very stacked this week. I think that's just it. I think Xur is just stacked this week. Armor for all three classes, good exotics, good catalysts, a couple decent weapons, and yeah, I think we just have a real good week of Xur. So, with that being said, thank you everybody who took the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed this week's Xur inventory review. As always, leave a subscription and a like. As always, thank you for watching and checking. As always, thank you for everybody who comes and watches and supports these videos. I appreciate you all. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, drop a subscription. But with all of that being said, either I'll see you Sunday maybe, or I'll see you Tuesday. Have a good day everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.